Hey Taurus, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it, Taurus. Happy day. We are in the throes of Pisces season. It tends to bring up a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of, just wondering, things that we've kind of already been processing through, I should say. This is nothing new under the sun. This is a lot of working out old habits, patterns, karmas, things that have been keeping us limited for quite some time. Pluto moved into Aquarius officially back in November. And so we have this opportunity to make changes in our life that are directly related to our ideals, our wish fulfillment, our hopes, our dreams, our desires. Unfortunately, that means, however, that we kind of have to go through the bullshit to get there, right? And we're in this space of really kind of weeding things out, weeding people out, situations, energies, patterns, habits, etc., that just have been holding us back, keeping us limited, not allowing the opportunities that we really want to see come in. It's not an easy process. That's why I like to start these readings off with an energy cleansing, just kind of set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. It's a great way to cleanse out some of that limitation that you might be coming into. It's also a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially if you've come into this reading with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would love Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. Great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation and what's kind of happening for you, or if you're looking for more of a realignment with mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're operating from that space of alignment, it really allows us to make choices, decisions that honor our happiness and fulfillment, which we all deserve, right? We all deserve to live a life that feels happy and good. And part of it is just kind of getting the bullshit out of the way, right? So if you're interested, resonate, vibe with my energy, I would love to help support. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. Definitely hit me up, Taurus. I would love to support in whatever way possible. All right, let's get into this. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Smoky one today. Okay, both you and Aries had a lot of smoke. Lots to cleanse out. I was seeing in my mind's eye as we were doing the blessing, Taurus, that there's someone or something I feel like someone promised you something and is not following through on that. I was seeing this big light of clarity where something this week, you're going to see it for what it actually is. Something that I feel has kind of been coming to your attention lately. you've had your senses or your intuition around this. The nice thing about being in Pisces season is it really helps us tap into our intuition. We have a lot of planetary placements and astrological points right now in Pisces as well. So everything is just going to be amplified. It amplifies emotions 100%, but emotions really are our guide, our guide. I was going to say our instincts into those intuitions, intuitive hits, moments that you kind of see what the reality, what the truth is. You've kind of been comfortable for a minute, and I feel like that's kind of why you didn't really want to change anything, right? Like we get comfortable, we like our surroundings, and it's easy to turn a blind eye when we really don't want to be pushed out of our comfort zone, right? But it can also, it seems to me like it's also been something that's kind of disruptive to your life, right? It's this value of procrastination on some level. And in Ayurveda, Maharishi Ayurveda specifically, they look at procrastination is what brings our heart pain and suffering. It's like one of the worst things we can do, right? Because the nature of life is to evolve. And I feel like if you were a little bit more open-eyed, you probably wouldn't be sitting in this situation for as long as you have been. But there's a lot of ideals around it. I don't know. There's a lot of hopes. There's a lot of wishes. There's a lot of things that you kind of want to see manifest out of this, and it's just not happening. But in this way that it's actually affecting your livelihood, it could be affecting your home, your family, your finances, this place of stability and support. And I'm kind of seeing you not really wanting to deal with it this week. Like you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. And I feel like that's kind of why I was picking up that vision of like complete awareness, because spirit wants you to see, not in a way to hurt you, not in a way to harm you, but in a way to like allow yourself to empower yourself to move forward. And I know that's like easier said than done, right? Like it's really hard to kind of put up boundaries, say no, especially to someone or something that's not really giving us what they had promised. And you're giving this person or situation a hall pass because there's been a lot of lip service around quote unquote trying to heal, trying to get better. We're seeing this a lot where people are using a lot of excuses. But you've already seen the disconnect. You've already seen the change that's happening. And I feel like it's going to continue to progress in that way. It's hard to avoid, and it's going to force you eventually to take a look at how it is affecting you on all these different fronts. This week is going to be very emotional. There's a lot going on in Pisces. The water element is like just through the roof. So be mindful, take care of yourself, invest in yourself, be really conscious about the conversations and the communications that you do have, giving yourself a little bit more awareness, and don't take it personally, right? Like I know that's, again, easier said than done. Especially when we care about something, especially when we want something so badly to move in a certain direction. But I'm hearing this more as like, be an observer and take mental notes. It's necessary because you are a little bit spaced out this week. Don't hate me for saying that, Taurus. I'm sorry. It's not a bad thing. I look at your energy and you're very like, you believe in the ideal. You believe in the fantasy. You're like, wanting it, not even wanting it so bad, but you just like know it's there. And I believe you 100%. Like it's saying that you can have it, but it almost looks like the pieces that you're using to like build your nest, build your home, so to speak, are not the pieces that are in alignment with that fantasy, you know? And I feel like someone is really struggling to hold up their end, even though they're professing this I'm getting better type energy. it's not what you see. It's not what you see. It's a little bit of breadcrumbing. It's a little bit of false promises, promising something that can't necessarily be delivered. I mean, they're already showing that in their energy this week anyway, right? They're showing that like there's something that whether you had a conversation, there's something that you're differing in your perspectives and your opinions about, and they don't like it. And as much as they're saying one thing to you, it feels like, it looks like they're thinking the opposite in their mind. And again, I don't feel like you're ignorant to this. This has been coming up a lot in the collective where we have to give ourselves awareness, or we've been forced to do that over the past couple months, and we have the awareness we need. And now it's just about like putting that into practice, especially with Mars going direct. It will be direct for what, like 4 or 5 days, something like that, before we have the new moon end of the month, and then Venus goes into retrograde March 1st. So again, highlighting energies, partnerships, people that we're collaborating with, and what the reality of those things are. Right now, Venus is in Aries, so it's all about like self, love of self, investing in who you are and what you want. And then it's going to retrograde back into Pisces. So then we're going to have to like see how that's actually playing out in our life. And if we're actually inviting people, situations in that are in alignment with what we want, with what we're asking for. You're choosing to be pretty diplomatic about things. Like I almost feel like whether you're overwhelmed this week, whether you just don't have the time, the space, the energy to kind of like uncover what this is or how this is all playing out. And you don't necessarily have to, because I think it's important for you to protect your emotions this week. It's also just saying like, don't be naive. Don't turn a blind eye. You don't necessarily have to expose this person's situation, individual. It's naturally going to come out. This is a very emotional person who can't really handle themselves. And I feel like this is actually, you feel a little bullied right now. And I don't know if this person's situation is getting some other people on their side, trying to convince you of whatever their ideas are, their plans are, etc. You're just not vibing with it. But again, you don't really want to like do anything about it. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. It's just this value of like, I don't know, you like your peace. You like your peace. You want your peace. It feels like you've had to deal with this for a while and you're a little bit over it. I don't necessarily see you like caving in. I don't necessarily see that. However, it is going to stir the pot. And again, I feel like that's just kind of why you're like, okay, like let me move on. I'll deal with this later. Just make sure to not shove it too far under the rug. Make sure you still have access to it. You can pull it out when you're ready. There are going to be some decisions that you have to make this week. Yes, synthesis. So I really like this energy for you. It's that reminder that like you can have these thoughts, these ideas of how you want things to look, right? Or who you are and how you represent yourself. But then you actually have to synthesize that into reality. And I feel like there's a lot of communication going on. I feel like you are going to have to speak your truth on some level. Some people might understand, might accept it, might be willing to kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. Others, not so much. They're not going to get it because they're not necessarily getting what they want. Sorry, I think it's like this, right? Oh, no. Ooh, dream. Okay. So when you are in your downtime, definitely take some moments to really, excuse me, whew. Think about how you want this to look. These are kind of more of your fanciful thoughts. What would be something that you can bring into your life to give you a little bit more autonomy is what I'm hearing, so that you're not necessarily roped into these dynamics where it's like people, situations trying to get something out of you that you're not really interested in giving. But it does, or it is going to require you to connect with some new opportunities. I feel like this is a proverbial rebuilding of the nest, meaning you have to reassess your foundation. Because again, as much as maybe you'll have some people that will agree with you or see it from your perspective, not everyone's on your side. And I still feel like someone is defending someone else in a way that like you don't feel comfortable with. It's actually bringing up a lot of emotions, a lot of drama, and that's part of why you're disconnecting this week. But with this connect card, I don't feel like this is as much as like connecting with this situation, because it does show that like as it plays out, a lot of things are going to be brought to light, and it's going to give you those kind of like light bulb moments. But at the same time, it's also asking you to connect with people and individuals that vibe with you, you know, that you feel like, okay, this makes me feel safe. This makes me feel supported. This makes me feel like I have someone or something on my team that's not just going to breadcrumb me or change on the drop of a hat, right? Like, or a coin. I don't remember what the saying is, sorry, but it just feels like someone's always like either changing their mind or they make a promise and they don't deliver. And you kind of just are like, done with it, right? Like, been there, done that, let's move on. So do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for your heart, your mind, your soul. You deserve it. Again, you don't necessarily have to get involved in the drama. It's up to you how much you really want to invest into this thing. And there's more options out there. Mars just went direct, so it's a great time to seek those options, especially before Venus goes into retrograde. So you have a week to do it. No, I'm kidding, but you know, take your time, enjoy, find some things that really honor, support your heart, your mind, something that you're curious about, that you're interested in, that's actually fulfilling some of these dreams that you have for your life. All right, Taurus, thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. If you did, definitely drop comments below. I'd love to hear, or just say, hey, how's it going? Share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love and support that you bring to the channel. Know I'm sending it back your way.